Tonight on To The Point, housing a sexually violent predator in Placer County as the state pays $7,000 a month to hold a location, why it's still not clear what happens next. Plus new information in a mountain lion attack, what we know about a 21-year-old killed while trying to save his younger brother. How much water does California have? Recent storms are making an impact on what's now banked beneath our feet. And later, telling the untold story of a civil rights leader, how one Stockton woman is helping to share history of a community often overlooked.
Thank you so much for starting your week with us. On To The Point, I'm Alex Bell. For months, we've been telling you about William Stevenson. The state is trying to place him back in the Placer County community after serving time for sexually violent crimes. And today, another hearing was held on the matter, but our cameras were not allowed inside. So our Jeannie Nguyen explains what we were able to learn about today's meeting and what local officials want to see happen now.
In a court check-in hearing at the Placer County Superior Court Monday morning, Placer County residents received an update regarding sexually violent predator William Stevenson. Stevenson has a long history of sex crimes dating back to the 90s. In July 2023, a judge deemed him fit for re-release as a transient, but officials with Placer County, Department of State Hospitals, and Liberty Healthcare have been looking for a place to house him ever since.
I heard that they are looking at placing the SVP in adjoining tribal lands here in Placer County.
For Annabelle Velasquez, who attended Monday's meeting, says she is concerned.
There's a lot of issues when it comes to tribes already being sexually victimized, and this is going to put them in even more of a position to be more easily victimized as well.
A spokesperson with the Placer County District Attorney's Office confirms the state is currently looking at a property very close to tribal lands, but no county or tribe officials could confirm exactly where. Monday's court check-in hearing lasted less than 30 minutes, and the DA's office adds the state did not say if they're looking to host another housing meeting. Just last month, Placer County District Attorney Morgan Geyer told ABC 10 Stevenson should not be re-released into Placer County.
I have very little confidence, and so does this office. We have opposed his release.
For now, the state is paying $7,000 a month to hold this possible housing location. It's not known what happens next.
And Jeannie is with us right now. Now, obviously, we were not allowed inside the hearing today, but you did speak with the Department of State Hospitals. Can you give us an idea of what they were saying inside today's hearing?
Well, Alex, I can tell you that representatives with the Department of State Hospitals, William Stevenson, and Liberty Healthcare all appeared in today's meeting virtually. But when I asked the state to give me details about today's meeting, a spokesperson would only tell me federal and state laws prevent them from sharing any information about any patients.
All right, Jeannie, thank you so much. And we want to give a clarification tonight on an investigation that we brought you last week about the sexually violent predator program, which is run by the Department of State Hospitals and Liberty Healthcare. State Hospitals tells ABC 10 that 55 people have been released into the community since the SVP program started back in 1996. Now, of those 55 people, they say less than 11 have either been convicted or suspected of a crime and never convicted while participating in their program. So we did ask for clarification on what less than 11 means and asked the state to provide an exact number on how many people reoffended. The response that we got was, quote, DSH cannot provide numbers that are less than 11. I also want to mention that we have also asked the Department of State Hospitals and Liberty Healthcare for on-camera interviews since October to discuss this concern and other concerns that people in the community have, but our requests have been denied. A teenager killed in Stockton Sunday night has been identified as 16-year-old Jamani Edmond. Stockton police say that it happened on Palisades Drive around 9 last night, and officers found the teen with a gunshot, and he later died at the hospital. No word yet on a possible motive or a suspect. And tonight, we're learning more about two brothers who were viciously attacked by a mountain lion in El Dorado County on Saturday. The mountain lion killed the older brother after he stepped in to help his younger brother. Our Roxanne Elias has new details in the investigation tonight.
Two brothers from El Dorado County are being hailed heroes for their brave acts to protect each other from a mountain lion attack over the weekend. The El Dorado County Sheriff's Office identified them as 21-year-old Taylon Brooks and 18-year-old Wyatt Brooks of Mount Alcom. Taylon did not survive.
This was a heroic story of two brothers who grew up in nature, avid hunters themselves, Wyatt, avid bow hunter. Talon loved to play the guitar, but their love of the outdoors was what really made their bond.
After speaking with the family, he shared a better understanding of what happened Saturday afternoon when the brothers came upon the mountain lion. Around 1 in the afternoon, the brothers were walking along Skid Road in the area of Kelsey near Georgetown. While walking along the dirt road, they saw a mountain lion walk up. Both Wyatt and Talon did what they always learned, to raise their hands in the air to appear larger and yell. The family says Wyatt threw his backpack at it to try and scare it away.
The mountain lion attacked Wyatt first, and Talon, out of that love for his brother, began to attack the lion to try to get it off, while Wyatt was defending himself also.
That's when the mountain lion attacked Talon. Wyatt tried to beat on the animal, but after some time, he ran back towards their vehicle where he called 911, then drove back to the scene.
It was soon after that they started that search that they did locate Talon and the mountain lion next to him.
But Talon had succumbed to his injuries. The lion was later found and euthanized. Right now, the family is asking for privacy, but they released a statement saying, "We are all devastated by the tragic loss of Talon, yet thankful Wyatt is still with us and well. We are aware the outcome could have been worse." They're remembering the young man for being a very kind and gentle soul and say he will be deeply missed by all who knew him. Parker says the lesson in all of this?
The main thing is that you never know when your last day is, so just enjoy those that you're around with and just develop those strong bonds.
And Wyatt underwent reconstructive surgeries at UC Davis Medical Center and is now back at home. A family spokesman says that the community can lend support through their thoughts and prayers. They also now have an official donation account set up through the county. We'll make sure to post that online with you. And the Department of Fish and Wildlife is doing further testing on the animal to see if they can find any underlying health conditions that could have anything to do with the attack. And a heads up, if you live around Folsom Lake, you may notice 3 to 4 helicopters low flying around the area over the next few days. CAL FIRE says that they will be conducting night vision goggle training starting tonight around 10. So expect it to happen every day until Friday. Coming up onto The Point, banking water beneath our feet. New information about just how much water California has saved over the last year.
And enjoy the quiet weather while it's here. It's not going to last much longer. If you liked what we had today, you'll like tomorrow, but that whole pattern changes again on Wednesday. Full forecast coming up.
All right, meteorologist Brendan is here with our forecast. It was actually very nice, quiet, calm today. Pretty sunny, not bad.
Yeah, it was a nice day all around. Nicer than the weekend when we did have the rain and snow in the area, but it's not going to last for too much longer. Just one more day. Highs today, 66 downtown Sacramento, 63 Sacramento Executive. Stockton made it to 66 and 64 in Modesto. The average highs for the time of year, you can see at the bottom there, are in the upper 60s for Stockton at 70 now. So we're close to average, just a little bit below for the time of year. Through the rest of today, we'll be about 57 by the top of the hour, 54 at 9 o'clock, 52 degrees. At 11 o'clock, we'll have a few clouds passing overhead, but I do still expect mostly clear skies through the evening. Some clouds linger through the overnight, waking up early tomorrow. Temperatures will be in the middle 40s, 46 Sacramento, 46 Elk Grove, 47 Stockton, 45 in Modesto, 30s and 40s in the foothills, and in the 20s up in the high country. Tomorrow afternoon, again, very, very similar to what we had today. Back in those mid to upper 60s in the valley, close to average, a few clouds with, I do expect, more periods of sunshine even than what we saw today. But like I said, that pattern changes. By midweek, this is Wednesday, we've got a storm making its way back in. That continues the rain and snow chances through Thursday, through Friday, and through Saturday, as well as this low just kind of meanders off the coast. Sunday, which also happens to be Easter Sunday, seems to be that transition day kind of out of the cooler and wetter pattern back into the drier, more mild. But the problem is we're still close to a week away. So you can see the model still has some rain chances across the higher elevations, maybe a little bit drier in the valley. Rest of the day, Sunday into Monday, is when we really start to dry out. So if you're making plans for Easter Sunday specifically, you got to wait and see a little bit longer before we can say, yeah, for sure it'll be dry, or if we're looking at maybe a wetter day than drier day on Sunday. One thing's for sure, over the next 7 days, we've definitely got those rain chances, looking at about an inch of rain in the valley, 2 to 4 inches of liquid water in the Sierra. That would equate to about 1 to 2 feet of snow at the past level. So over the next 10 days, things do cool off, and we lose that quiet pattern as the rain and snow returns to Northern California. Again, Easter Sunday. Stay tuned for that. Next week, though, we're back into the 70s, Alex.
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. Next, on to the point, an update on just how much water our area has now seen beneath our feet. Plus, a pivotal day in court for 2 of former President Donald Trump's cases, a trial date set, and an update on how much money he will have to pay. And later, telling a story erased from history, how a local writer is helping to share the untold life and legacy of a civil rights leader. Welcome back. Tonight, there's good water news from the historic 2023 water year. And ABC 10 Chief Meteorologist Monica Wood shows us how in-lieu banking built up an extra 12 billion gallons of water beneath our feet.
In a year where surface water flowed freely and at times wreaked havoc, behind the scenes, people were finding ways to use the extra water by storing the overflow.
With in-lieu recharge, we're taking excess water that would have normally been lost out of the Golden Gate.
By strategically using surface water when it's available, then storing extra underground for drought years. Last year alone, the Regional Water Authority, which represents nearly 24 water providers in the greater Sacramento region, found an extra 12.3 billion gallons of water was banked, enough supply for over 100,000 households.
It's difficult to identify areas and build more surface storage in the West. And in California, this is an opportunity to build storage utilizing the groundwater basin.
This hydrograph shows the difference water banking has made since 1990. The process can occur through either natural percolation or direct efforts, like what is being done in Roseville through the Aquifer Storage and Recovery Program.
The city treats surface water from Folsom Reservoir, and then at wells that are designed for extraction during dry times when there's limited amount of surface water, these wells are specially designed to also take excess surface water and directly inject it into the aquifer.
New data from the Airborne Electromagnetic Survey will also help identify the best places and methods to store water based on the type of material underground. And with near normal rain and snow this year, we'll likely be building on all these benefits.
We have the option to take additional surface water supplies now because they're available. And so agencies are doing that. They've been shifting where they can from historic groundwater pumping, taking more surface water. So this year is another opportunity to really put water in the bank.
And this type of water banking in the Sacramento region can store almost twice the amount of water as Folsom, showing the huge potential to store water beneath our feet. Very cool. All right, in other news tonight, a pivotal day in court for former President Donald Trump in 2 cases against him. First, a New York judge finalized a trial date in the hush money case involving adult actress Stormy Daniels. The trial will start on April 15th, and Trump pleaded not guilty last year to charges of falsifying business records related to his hush money payment to Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 election. Defense attorneys were arguing for more time after more evidence was turned over by prosecutors, but the judge says prosecutors are not at fault for the late production of documents. Meanwhile, in Trump's civil fraud case, a New York appellate court ordering that Trump only needs to post a $175 million bond for the $500 million judgment in his civil fraud case.
So I greatly respect the decision of the appellate division, and I'll post either $175 million in cash or bonds or security or whatever is necessary very quickly within the 10 days.
Trump's lawyers argued the original $454 million amount was practical impossibility. They claim that Trump tried securing the full amount, but more than 30 underwriters turned him down. Trump and his sons have denied all wrongdoing and have all appealed the ruling. Federal agents raided both homes of rapper Sean Diddy Combs in Los Angeles and Miami today. Homeland Security says the searches were part of an ongoing investigation, but did not say what that was. The Associated Press says 2 law enforcement officials tell them the investigation is part of a sex trafficking probe, but it's not clear how involved Combs is, and no charges have been filed. Now, there have been several sexual assault lawsuits filed against Combs in recent months. Combs has denied the allegations against him. Rights to abortion access will be heard by the Supreme Court tomorrow. The justices are scheduled to hear arguments related to mifepristone, which is a pill that helps end an early pregnancy. Now, plaintiffs claim the FDA made the drug easier to access without due diligence. It was initially approved in 2000, and then the FDA eased restrictions twice, in 2016 and 2021, expanding the window someone has to use the drug, changing who's allowed to prescribe it, and most recently, eliminating an in-person dispensing requirement. The FDA argues each of those changes were done properly, and since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, 21 states have banned or restricted abortion access. Now, medication abortions now account for more than half of all abortions in the U.S. The opinion from the justices is expected at the end of June. And then Boeing's president and CEO, Dave Calhoun, announced today that he will step down as CEO at the end of the year. This decision follows that incident with Alaska Airlines flight in January, where a door plug of a Boeing 737 MAX 9 aircraft fell off mid-flight. In a statement, Calhoun acknowledged the challenges facing Boeing, saying in part, quote, "We will remain squarely focused on completing the work we have done together to return our company to stability after the extraordinary challenges of the past 5 years, with safety and quality at the forefront of everything that we do." It has not yet been determined who will replace him. Next, on To the Point, telling the untold stories of civil rights leaders, why this story matters, and how it's helping others who are often overlooked. There's a new musical with Filipino-American actors and creatives taking center stage, and it's called Larry the Musical, and it tells the story of civil rights activist Larry Itliong. Tonight, race and culture reporter Candace Red shares why it's a healing story.
It's a story erased from history.
It's still very much not well known.
Gail Ramasanta from Stockton is changing that.
It's so important to tell these stories because we really need to understand as a people, as a general population, how we intersect in history.
She wrote this children's book with the late historian Dr. Don Mabalan. It's titled Journey for Justice, The Life of Larry Itliong.
You need to heal from that. If you've been absolutely erased from history and you actually were many reasons why certain events even happened.
Larry Itliong was a Filipino-American labor organizer and civil rights activist. He played a main role in the Delano grape strike and the founding of the United Farm Workers Union, but his story is often hidden in the shadows.
There needs healing across the board. What does that look like? It looks like a musical.
Gail is now telling the story of Larry Itliong through music. She's the writer and executive producer for Larry the Musical, an American journey.
We never dreamt that we could take the story and put it on the stage. We never dreamt that we could see actors like us.
Based on the goals of a campaign.
The musical is based on the book.
Say what you will, if you can't stand it, do what you feel.
It covers Itliong's story from birth in the Philippines in 1913 to the proclamation of Larry Itliong Day in California in 2015.
We won!
Amar Cabling plays Elder Larry in the musical. He says he's proud Filipino-American actors are finally taking center stage.
The one word that comes to my mind is like gratitude. I get so inspired by people who are passionately fighting for what they believe is right.
Wherever we are, we should be telling the story.
I will be
And this is the first Filipino-American musical to celebrate Larry Itliong's life and legacy. And the demand to see it is high. Opening night at the Brava Theater in San Francisco was sold out. And for more details about the show, make sure you visit abc10.com. And coming up tomorrow is the annual State of Downtown event. Local leaders are expected to address the accomplishments and challenges the city of Sacramento faced in 2023. And there could possibly be some new announcements. So make sure you join us tomorrow at 6:30 right here for a full recap. Thank you so much for watching and inviting us into your home. Remember, strangers are people we just haven't gotten a chance to meet yet. Take the time to get to know someone. Have a great night. Hey, it's Alex. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. The To The Point team and I love hearing from you, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. And don't forget, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send us a text message at 916-321-3310.